Today, we're going to be installing FunnyPlaying's USB-C mod for the Gameboy Advance SP. This mod replaces the charging port and gives you a USB-C port to charge your console with. To begin, we're going to start with removing the original port. We put some flux on the board and then we're going to use hot air to go ahead and remove the original port. Constantly move the hot air around and don't let it sit on one area for too long, as this can burn components and the board, leading to massive damage. Consistently move it around, and once you're able to remove the port, it should simply lift away. From here, we recommend cleaning up the area. You don't need to be perfect, but we want to be able to see what we're doing. So we just took a Q-tip with some isopropyl alcohol and wiped the whole area down. From there, we grab some solder wick and we begin to wick away all the pads, including the two large ground pads. You may need a bit more flux for this. Now that we've got all the solder removed and wicked away, and the port is pretty much cleaned up, we can go ahead and begin to place our USB-C port. We'll want to make sure that it's lined up all the way at the top of the console. If it's crooked, it won't look right in the shell. So make sure the port is on straight and it looks good. We begin by tacking down one of the grounds on the side. This way we can go ahead and solder all those finer points without the worry of the entire port moving. You may have to heat up the ground point and move it with your finger or a set of tweezers, just to make sure that the port is in there straight. Once you've got both of the grounds soldered, you can go ahead and move on to the 5 pins on the back of the USB-C adapter. You'll most likely want to use a good amount of flux here, as they can easily bridge. All you have to do is essentially tap solder onto the bottom pad and watch it run up the trace on the PCB. If you end up with any bridging on these 5 pins, you may need to add more flux, clean your iron, and run it over the solder to remove it, or potentially use some solder braid to help remove the flux. As long as you see no shorts, you should be good. You can go ahead and move on to testing of the USB-C port from here. All you have to do is plug it in. You should see the charging light flash for 1 second and then turn off. This indicates that your USB-C port is working. Some important notes for this install. You can use USB-A to C cables, however USB-C to C cables will not work with this mod. You should also know that if you're using headphones, then you'll need to use this pair of headphones that doesn't have a DAC in them. They need to be just a standard set of wired earbuds. As always, thanks for watching. If you want to see more content like this, check out our wiki linked down below. And if you have any troubles, feel free to join our Discord that's linked below as well.